All right, here it is. Here's my breathwork experience that I had went through with Chad. I wanted to share it with you guys so you can understand how transformative these processes are to remove these old limiting beliefs, these blockages that are preventing you from living the best life that you deserve. So I was in my bed, all comfortable, and I had Chad on Zoom, and he was teaching me different how to breathe properly, and he was coaching me through it. I have never felt so safe before. He told me exactly what to do, and I knew he was right there. I had my eyes closed, and he was teaching me how to breathe and the techniques of it to get me into the state that he needed me in. And it was, my body started tingling, and I felt like almost, when something goes to sleep and it has that tingling feeling. That's what it felt like, especially on my palate and my nose. Anyways, I was laying there and he was coaching me, talking to me. He says, it's going to get uncomfortable. You're going to want to quit, but don't quit. And I must have changed my pattern of breathing, and I could hear him saying, don't quit, keep going, keep going, keep going. So I kept going, pushing myself, being uncomfortable. And all of a sudden, I was in this place. And then I recognized where I was. I was in the church of when I was a little girl. Now, I didn't go to church with my parents. They didn't go. I went with my grandma. My grandma was a saint. She was the absolute most beautiful person on this earth. She was like Betty White crossed with Mother Teresa. Like, that gives you just a picture of who she was. Anyways, I'd go to church with her. And that was the one time where I felt like I was good enough, that I felt loved and appreciated, and that I was accepted for who I was. And I knew at that point that I was a good person. So anyways, I saw the 12-year-old Amanda there, and I went up to her and looked at her, and she just looked at me, and I grabbed her face and I held it, and I just adored looking at her. And I'm like, you are amazing. You're such a beautiful person. And I just held on to her, and I was emanating my glow onto her, my yellow glow. And she was just radiating like this yellow aura around her. And she was just smiling. And I'm like, yes, you're so beautiful. Anyways, and then it flashed. We were at my grandma's house, and it was in this bedroom, and it was like a grayish blue, like a filter. That's what I could see. It was really dark and gloomy. Anyways, Amanda, little girl, Amanda, she opened the closet door, and there was another little Amanda in the corner hiding, and she was all curled up in this ball. So Amanda the little girl walked in the closet, and she went down up and crept up to that little girl, the other Amanda, and she held her and hugged her. And there was no words exchanged, but she just held on to her, and it was so beautiful. And then all of a sudden they both came out, and they looked at each other, and then the one girl went up to the mirror, the gray girl, and she put her hand on the mirror. And then all of a sudden it was like there was one girl. She was transformed into this like beautiful little girl. And then all of a sudden we were in this other bedroom at my grandma's house, and there was red carpet, and I remember dressing up in my aunt's wedding dress, and she was in that wedding dress again, and she was looking in the mirror at herself, admiring and seeing how beautiful she was, and all these dreams and desires. And I remember looking at her, looking in the mirror, just admiring herself. And then all of a sudden it flashed, and here I am on a beach looking at my daughters wearing these beautiful white crisp dresses. They're flowy, and I'm getting married, and my daughters are my bridesmaids. And I was like, oh my God. And I looked down at the sand, and I could feel how warm it was. And then it flashed back, and I was back in the gray bedroom again. And with the little 12-year-old Amanda, we're looking in the closet, and it starts changing color. And all of a sudden there was some clothes hanging up, and they started getting color. It was weird. They were shining, and there was a beautiful teal. I like teal, if you can't tell. There was a teal Lululemon workout outfit with some shoes, and there's a beautiful sexy black dress there. And there was a blazer, nice business clothes, and it was all there, and beautiful high heels. It was there, and they were just hanging there, and they're so beautiful. And my wedding dress was there, and I looked at it, and it was tiny, and I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden I looked down, and I was the best shape of my life, like absolutely perfect. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then the little girl and I grabbed a black garbage bag, and there was all these clothes on the floor. So anyways, we gathered all the clothes up and we shoved them in the black garbage bag. And I went and I dropped them off at my mom's feet. That was so significant. That meant I was carrying all that shit that wasn't even mine. That was my mother's, her old belief systems that I carried with me for all this time. And it's not even mine to carry. I dropped it off and my little girl and I did it together. Oh my God. It was such an unreal experience. Anyways, I had to share that with you guys. I hope you guys can have an experience like that and you can shed some layers. Afterwards, like I told you, I was feeling so exhausted. I was crying I was crying through the whole thing. My hair was soaking wet. What an incredible experience. And I hope you all get to experience something like that so then you can start moving forward into your most abundant life ever.